Yes, a lot to unpack there. If you will, try to put on your Biden administration hat and explain to me how the inflation theory that the president is outlining here really works. How is it that this would be transitory, that prices spike 30% in some cities? We're feeling it very hard here in New York City, for example. And then all of a sudden, prices are just going to go back to normal. Is that how this works?
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. The challenge for the Biden administration is that they, at the very moment that they're trying to sell their enormous spending plan to the Congress, $4 trillion, $5 trillion, that they have all of these inflation concerns. So they have to figure out a way to say that those spending plans themselves will solve the problem. And they're going to say, this is just transitory, this is base effects and bottlenecks. But the reality is that even Jay Powell has said that inflation is bigger than he expected. The experts have been saying it's been transitory for several months. They have been consistently behind the curve. The Biden administration knows that. They know they have a problem on their hands. And the reality is they've got to go and sell something to the American people. And I don't think anyone will buy that $4 trillion of additional spending to expand the money supply, because that debt's going to be monetized, is somehow going to be moving the different direction than increase.
And that seems to be the path that they want to go down. But we were just flashing gas prices, for example. Let's take that as one example. $3.17 is the price for a gallon of regular, the national average. And you look at the amazing increases that we've seen as we've been reopening, demand obviously increasing, but you've got Biden administration policies that are crushing the energy industry in this country. And then you have an announcement from OPEC saying, sure thing, we're gonna go ahead and up our production. That's not necessarily the answer. We have the capacity here. We have the supply here. We don't want OPEC's supply. Why are we shutting things down at home?
Yeah, and I think you're hitting on a very important point, which is it's not just the increase of spending that's going on. It's the totality of their plan, their economic plan, which is anti-American energy, which is high regulation, which is anti-competitive. They want to raise taxes to pay for all of this spending. I think they're going to have a hard time doing that with Congress, but all of that will be fundamentally uncompetitive and make this a situation that will hurt the American people.
Russ, let me ask you a question. When you and I are not in our day jobs, right, we're regular consumers. We're feeling the impact of inflation across the country. And I'm wondering what the tipping point is. I think right now people are willing to spend more for certain goods and services because we've been cooped up and there certainly is pent up demand. But as this goes on, there's going to be a tipping point where there's a chilling effect on the economy, where consumers pull back and say, I can't spend the extra money on that vacation. I can't spend, a crazy amount of money to go out to dinner a couple of nights a week. And all of a sudden, that's when you see things start to pull back.
Well, I think that one about the restaurant is a very good example because, we're all willing to pay more to be able to ensure that people have more in their pocket to be able to get back into the workplace. And I've never seen anything like it during the pandemic when people were going out curbside to be able to keep restaurants afloat. But there comes a point where your ability to go out to eat repeatedly is impacted by the extent to which prices are rising. And so this gets back to the policies that are being set by the federal government to have extravagant unemployment benefits that artificially keep people out of the workforce, that makes this a much difficult thing to balance at the end of the day for policymakers.
Russ Vought, great to see you as always. Thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks.